Greetings and welcome to the 12th episode of Oblivion House Mod Hunters, where we look at, 3 different house mods each week as we try and find your dream home in Cyrodiil. And as always, I'm your host, Elf Guy, and today we're actually, looking at homes in the Shivering Isles, where the Mad Lord Sheoth holds his court. And we have, 3 pretty fantastic looking house mods that can be found on both sides of the Mania and Dementia divide. So let's just get right to it, but first things first, you can find the download links for all the mods shown down in the video description below. And anyway, starting out, we have our popular house mod of the week, which this week is Nightmist Manor by NottingHillbillie and Khettienna. And this is a rather small and, on the outside, rather unassuming house in the Crucible district of New Sheoth, and it's, really just basically a door on the wall, to be honest. There's not a whole lot of exterior detailing. And you can sort of see the house on the map here, but, obviously, since it's in the middle of a city, it doesn't really have its own map marker. And likewise, it has a pretty short commute to the shops and taverns of New Sheoth. And inside you'll find a truly lovely abode that's essentially divided between 3 main floors, with the first floor being a sort of, entry hall with an alchemical lab, a small garden, and a few pre-decorated bookshelves and the like. And, let me just say that the interior lighting in here is absolutely fantastic. Mixing a sort of combination of dark and colourful that's, just really pleasing to the eye, I think. And it creates a really beautiful and cozy atmosphere. And up on the second floor, you'll find the dining area with a table set for 2 and plenty of extra dishes on the shelves. And, something you'll notice here is that the entire house, all 3 stories of it, is, pretty open. You can look down from the second floor onto the entry hall or up to the master bedroom. And it's just this, kind of cool and neat looking open space to make into a home. But anyway, up here on the 3rd floor is the aforementioned master bedroom, with a bed naturally, but it also has a magical lab and lots of storage for various items. And really, I just, have to say again that this house is just really lovely. The decorations, the lighting, the little lightning bugs and butterflies, flying around, it really makes this house a kind of magical place to visit. And while this is a small house, it isn't, without any convenience features. It does include an alchemy sorter for sorting and retrieving alchemical ingredients, as well as potion and magical scroll sorters. And, that's all just for keeping track of your magical items. And in the bedroom, you'll find a spell for teleporting yourself directly back home at any time, as well as an altar to remove diseases and the like, and altars of spellmaking and enchanting, providing pretty much all the services that you might need for a mage-type character. And all in all, Nightmist Manor is a superbly beautiful home with some, truly wonderful light settings and lovely decorations to make you feel at home. And not only that, but it does include a number of convenience features like alchemical sorters, altars for spellmaking and enchanting, a fast teleport spell to go along with, the quick commute into New Sheoth, and, there's also an altar for removing diseases, and Nightmist Manor truly offers the ideal small home experience in the capital city of the Shivering Isles. And if you're just looking for something that's simple yet beautiful and is kind of a cool looking home to just sort of relax in New Sheoth, this is one I, highly recommend checking out. Moving on to our new house mod of the week this week, we have Sunburn Ranch by McMuffin. And Sunburn Ranch is a pretty, different sort of house mod in that it's an entirely exterior-based sort of house and includes a lot of landscaping and outdoor areas along the northern coast of the Mania side of the Shivering Isles. To say the least, this is a rather beautiful and unique looking housing mod with terrace gardens going up the hill here, including vegetable gardens along the lower level, and various fruits and the like growing above with strawberries and tomatoes. And this area is really just so breathtaking in terms of design. It fits in so well with the landscape and feels like a natural extension of the house's properties. And obviously it has a sort of, Japanese feel to the design as well, with a small sort of Japanese style garden here on the upper terrace, which also includes a small resting shack for taking tea breaks. And, gosh, I really love this area. The garden here fits in so well and seems like a perfectly relaxing spot to visit in between adventures. Now, before we take a detailed look at the interior of this house, I did kind of, just want to do a small flyby around the property here, because the entire place really does, look pretty fantastic. And it comes with a lot of separate structures, like a gardening shed and a meat smoking house. And there's even something of a hydroponic farm here to the side, and, some docks built around the property. And the house itself, kind of has this sort of handmade construction feel to it, like it was built manually and, doesn't belong to a particular style of architecture. But it is rather cool looking, including a deck that looks out to the sea, and you'll notice the entire house is on stilts, probably to protect it from flooding during the rising tides and the like. And you'll also find a few paths leading away from the main house, like one that goes down to a small nearby pool with a waterfall, and the entire area is, just really charming in its design. And you can see it on the map here. Sunburn Ranch isn't, really close to much of anything, honestly. The closest town is probably Hale or Split, but they're both, fairly far away, and luckily this house does come with a map marker for quick and easy travel back and forth during your journeys. And anyway, taking a closer look at the house here, as I mentioned before, the entire place is built as, one exterior cell. There's not really any separate interior world spaces here. And a lot of the construction here is, basically docks built upon docks with a large deck overlooking the sea that includes a cooking pit for, grilling meals, and there's a bit of seating here to have some company over and enjoy a meal together. And the views up here are, pretty amazing as well. The Shivering Isles is a beautiful place in the evening hours, and you get a pretty good view of it from up here. And also outside here on the deck, you'll find a small bathing area with a steaming hot tub. And inside the main house, you'll find a small lounge area with, seating mats. And again, this is, a sort of Japanese and Asian themed home with wall dividers and tatami mats and a cozy sort of kitchen and dining space with a small table and some bookshelves of miscellaneous dishware. And upstairs you'll find the master bedroom, which includes a small sitting hall with views of the surrounding area, including the sea and gardens, and the main sleeping chamber here has a futon that you can use with a few Asian-themed decorations. And something else that's worth pointing out here, you can turn the lights on and off throughout the entire property, including the candles and lanterns, so you don't have to worry about, coming to a dark house late at night. And real quick, I just wanted to show this house off during the nighttime hours, because it's such a beautiful place, even in the middle of the night, with, just enough light provided by the lanterns to guide your way inside. And, the night sky of the Shivering Isles is just absolutely fantastic as well. And anyway, in conclusion, Sunburn Ranch is an absolutely beautiful and scenic abode on the ocean of the Shivering Isles with stunning views, a lovely terrace set of gardens, a Japanese-style home, and lots of fantastic landscaping. It does come with a map marker and a decent amount of storage, though it's, a pretty long commute to any of the towns or cities here. And you'll have to do a bit of hiking in the wilderness on your first trip in order to, find this home, but still, it's a truly beautiful and lovely abode, and I'd highly recommend checking it out if you're in the market for a scenic new home on the Mania side of the Divide. Finally, for our underrated house mod of the week this week, we have Delaric's new Sheoth homes, Bliss and Crucible by Delaric, and this is actually two house mods in one package, with a small manor in the Bliss district of New Sheoth and another one in the Crucible district. We're going to be, looking at each one in turn, but we're going to start out with the one on the Mania side of the Divide, which you can see here, and it's a fairly nice looking manor that blends in with the rest of the buildings in this district. It does have a nice sort of, upper level balcony with a view of the city, including a table area of seating where you can, sit back, relax, and maybe paint a picture or something. But before you can really, gain access to each house, you're going to have to do a small quest first, which is, basically like a treasure hunt that takes you to the same place for both houses. So you have to do a little bit of legwork before you can actually move in, which might be a good thing. And real quick, you can see where this house is on the map here, and it's a fair distance from the New Sheoth Bliss District map marker, but it is, right in the middle of the city, so, that shouldn't be too problematic. And once you get inside a new home, you'll find a guide that explains the house a bit and the features that it comes with, plus some rather amusing writings that fit in with the, madness of Sheoth. And anyway, you can see the interior here, including a foyer and entry hall with a staircase leading up to the second floor and a small study space beneath the stairwell here. And you'll find the kitchen right off the entry hall here, which, opens up into the main dining area with a small reading table to one side and a table of chests for storing your ingredients and things like that. And of course there's the main dining chamber, where every night you'll find a number of dinner guests to keep you company, though they typically leave before morning. And upstairs you'll find your personal quarters with a master bedroom, including access to the outdoor balcony. And you also notice that this is a very colourful room with all sorts of interesting lights and the like, and it does come with a small breakfast table, a display case to show off, your items, some rather large windows, and a cozy little study space, as well as your very own throne for when you just, want to feel like you're a king in your own castle. And your throne even comes with 2 miniature people, your good conscious and your bad conscious, each with a unique appearance to remind you about the goods and evils of the world and your thoughts in particular. And you can just, sit in between them and take their advice in stride as you make decisions in your imaginary courtroom. And there's also a small servants' quarters in the basement with a cooking kitchen where the servants can prepare your meals, as well as a storage area with safe containers that you can use to store your items, and a bed for the 2 servants, which includes a cook and a gardener to maintain the property. And moving on to the Dementia side with the Crucible district, here you can see the Dementia Manor, which is kind of built along the side of the new Sheoth Palace. And the exterior is appropriately, gloomy with muck, gravestones, and an oppressive atmosphere. And you can also see it on the map here, and again, it's, not really close to the Crucible District map marker, but it is in the middle of the city, so, that's not really a big deal, since you're, starting out right next to a bunch of services. And inside you'll find a rather small little entry area that opens up onto the main floor here, and it is a rather creepy looking home, as you might expect, with the Dementia side of the Shivering Isles, with a dining area that includes a skeleton and various odd looking things, as well as some Sheoth statues, a servant, and there's also another guide to the home that you can find that provides a few more details about the features of the home that you can find. And upstairs you'll find the master bedroom, which is again, quite colourful, and includes a small study area, a master bed naturally, some storage containers, and a display cabinet. And you'll also find a menacing looking armor mannequin as well, though, you can't really change his armor, he's just there to, scare you when you get out of bed. And down in the basement, you'll find the alchemical lab with a small setup here of alchemical apparatuses and the like, as well as a storage room with a number of containers, some skeletal remains for some odd reason, and the servants' quarters, which is, really just a bedroll on the ground. And you also find an escape hatch down into the lower portion of the Crucible district, should you ever need it. And in conclusion, this is a rather nice set of houses in New Sheoth, each of which is, very distinct and unique with lots of character and charm, and some unusual features like nightly dinner guests and the like, and these are, fairly small homes, so they don't have a lot of, practical features, but they do have plenty of storage, some minor display space, and alchemical labs, not to mention a short commute to, everything that you need in the city. And I recommend giving this one a try if you're in the market for a smaller home in the capital of the Shivering Isles with, lots of character. And that pretty much wraps up our episode of Oblivion House Mod Hunters this week. Tune in next time for another set of house mods as we explore more of the manses and abodes of Cyrodiil. And in the meantime, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.